What up, Scrubs? This is your Dota Scrub host, Solaris X. I am back. The International has ended. We have a champion, a new champion crowned, Wings Gaming. I took a break from casting so that I could watch the International. I am not on the panel of casters. I am not to that level. And you were probably watching International too, so why the hell would I be broadcasting things during the International? But the International happened, and now we have all these amazing games to kind of rewatch and just kind of figure out certain heroes. As you know, the Scrubcast, we follow a particular hero, not all the heroes. You might follow 2 heroes. But some of these games, most of these games, I'm just going to be casting one hero so you can kind of see how a particular hero does really well when played with a very particularly brilliant professional player. This particular game is EHOME versus Team Liquid. This was, I think, the group stage. This was game 1. EHOME pulled out the Ogre Magi, a Mirana, a Phoenix, a Faceless Void, and a Terror Blade. You know, you can tell this is this lineup is so International 6. With the exception of Phoenix, which is interesting. I'm surprised there's a Phoenix here. But Phoenix, I think, went away pretty rapidly, surprisingly. He was nerfed a little bit. And then EHOME's going up against this lineup: Batrider, Bounty Hunter, Rubick, Naga Siren, and Death Prophet. Very push-heavy, kind of split push-heavy. Maybe a little bit of gank there from the Batrider from Team Liquid there. Not your typical lineup, certainly a TI6. You'll see later on it's Death Prophet, not a good pick, but not the pick most often there. And Rubick was actually a rather strange pick. I haven't seen a lot of Rubick at the International. And then, of course, we have Bounty Hunter, played by Kuroki, a classic Bounty Hunter. I have not actually cast Bounty Hunter played by Kuroki, but I will at some point. This match, I'm going to cast Rubick, and that's because JerAx played an absolutely outstanding Rubick game. I remember watching this, and I remember taking notes saying, okay, I've got to cast JerAx as a Rubick. Rubick games are really fun to cast. I know, I think a long time ago in my first episode or whatever, I said, I'm not going to cast any Rubick games. It's pretty simple. You just steal spells and use them against the enemy. But he shows that it's much better than that, much more to a really good Rubick than that. Also, I think Rubick is, for new players and for players like myself, just total idiots, scrubs, we don't really know how to exploit Rubick. I know how to play him roughly. I know kind of what his spells do, and I know you're supposed to steal spells and use them against the enemy, but how do you abuse that? How do you truly exploit the power of Rubick? Well, that's what we're going to find out in this game, because JerAx does it, and he makes an impression. I'll say that. So Team Liquid here, they didn't do so well in the International 6. They did, I think it was 4th, 5th place. I forget exactly what place they were in, but they were not. They lost, I think, early to. Actually, it might have been EHOME. It was one of the very good teams they lost to. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe actually, I think they lost to TNC, which is so surprising considering that now after the International, TNC is completely gone. They broke up. All but one player basically remains. So I think maybe the TNC decided to go their own ways, part ways, and go do their own thing. Now, we're going to go ahead and get to the Rubick game here, played by JerAx. We got the Tango, 2 Tango, 3. Oh, he's got 3 Tangos there. A shared Tango. I'm not sure why he's got a shared Tango. I guess he needs a little more regen. Given to him maybe by the offlaner, who may have 3 Tangos. I'm not really sure who the offlaner is in this case. I guess it's going to be Purple Batrider up there. He's got 4 Tangos, so he didn't share. Naga Siren. Guess anticipating a difficult lane, going up against what is probably going to be an Ogre Magi and a Faceless Void. So lots of torture, lots of abuse from this off lane. They also have a Sentry Ward, and that's probably to help counter any Sentry Ward's going to be put in this lane by the enemy,
30 seconds to
so that if necessary, Liquid's Bounty Hunter can come in and assist in the lane against this really powerful Void plus Ogre lane. And it may also be a tri-lane, in fact. It may be maybe a Void, Phoenix, and Ogre lane. Maybe safe lane, Terra Blade, and then a mid Mirana. That's probably what's going to happen. We're not really sure. Needless to say, we got JerAx coming in here, helping Fada to pick up that little rune control. Tillman Man providing a little bit of zoning control as well. So this is going to be looks like it's got to be a safe lane Naga. She's got that's why she's all the regen. She's going to be in this lane farming. JerAx is going to provide the crucial support. Going to stop by blocking this creep wave. You can tell where he's clicking, by the way. It's kind of fun to watch. So essentially we're going to be helpful to make sure that the bounty hunter can get in and do bounty hunter things, provide the crucial support when necessary. He has 2. Oh my. Well, mind control already dying. The bat way out of position. You saw him there earlier. Looks like JerAx goes ahead and picks up the Fade Bolt to begin with. He wants to, I think, hurt the farm of the enemy a little bit. Also do a little damage at the same time. He's got 2 clarity. He's going to need to stay in this lane a little bit. He wants to get levels. He wants that fast level 6. He also get an Iron Branch. Just good stats. A little bit of extra stats there to help him out. He's going to pull this lane back. You can see already the Naga Siren is way ahead of where she should be. On the minimap, you can see the Naga Siren is way up here. Going up against a Void. Turns out this was actually not a tri-lane nor a dual lane, although you might expect that to happen soon enough. Still, Old 11 going to be able to put the punishment on Matumbo Man all by himself, and that's probably why this is not... Okay, there's the dual lane. Yeah, Ogre now coming in, did something, I guess helped out with the kill on Batrider up top. JerAx just doing it. Actually, it looks like it was a double pull. Is that what that was there? Yeah, double pull. Wanted to get these creeps pulled way back, and he wants to be able to provide the support to his friend here. He wants to be able to get levels too. He's already at level 2. That's helpful. He's got himself a temporary kind of disable, kind of interrupt. Also a gank mechanism. Kuroki down here. I don't think he's playing it yet. So Rubick is not planning the ward yet. JerAx kind of waiting, I think, to see maybe if they go on Kuroki, on the bounty hunter, to see where that ward might be. You could just kind of randomly stick it down, but that's also going to potentially cost you a ward, and you don't have a lot of those to go around. 200 gold is expensive. Keeping in mind, by the way, that he only has 1 of these. I guess they split it off. Went somewhere else. Other one went somewhere else. So Kuroki playing little games over there with old Lanham. Lanham. It's not old. Lanham there. I'm old. I'm 31, folks. 31. I just turned 31, actually. So JerAx playing games here with Lanham and Kuroki. I guess forcing Lanham at least to be out of the lane so that Matumbo Man can continue to farm against old 11. And so JerAx now coming back in the lane, going ahead and pulling the creep equilibrium a little bit. Pull these creeps back a little bit. That's one of the advantages of actually hitting the enemy. You can actually pull the creep back a little bit, get a lush farm there on your carry. And now Old 11 is in a difficult position. He's going to get hit quite a bit here. He's probably got, yeah, he's got the Orb of Venom on top of him here. He's getting hit by both JerAx and Kuroki, also Toman coming in. Old Lanham going to be able to provide a little bit of additional support there to help Void get away. Void are going to be able to chase off that damage, avoid the damage with his little time walk. JerAx did use his level 1 telekinesis, lifting up the Void to get a little extra damage if possible. Pull him back a little bit further. Like JerAx tried to pull the creep wave there, or maybe he stacked. No, he didn't stack. It was 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So I'm not sure. Maybe he was trying to do something there. Here comes the pull at 23, 24 seconds. He's going to pull it all the way back. Get these creeps. Once again, try to reset the creep equilibrium. Constantly helping his melee core in the lane. Checking out the other lanes mid, see what's going on. He actually missed the last hit there. Shame on you, JerAx. Shame on you. Now 11's going to come in. He's going to get a couple last hits here because he's going to do a lot more damage. Oh, actually, looks like JerAx is going to use the Fade Bolt to help eliminate some of the damage there. Going to pull again. This is he's just constantly pulling here, and he's not always pulling down to that tower. Sometimes he's pulling. Oh, that is a very dangerous position there from the Phoenix.
Top tower is under attack.
About to die. Yeah, he's definitely going to die now. Yeah, you can see here, the vision is clearly, JerAx is clearly taking a look at what's going on top lane. Vada comes in, go ahead, he's going to Soul Siphon there, Old 11. JerAx comes in, he's going to telekinesis up Old Land, and Mind Control might actually be able to survive here. Wow. Fantastic teamwork there. They noticed, they were paying attention, and that was a very nice bait. I don't think that EHOME realized that they were going to be able to get killed on that one. They thought for sure they're going to kill the Batrider, but apparently not. Not when you got 3 people running in there. Okay, JerAx goes ahead and puts up his ward up top. He wants the sentry to be able to see up here in the off lane. I think that's because Kuroki's maybe going to set up shop. He does pop a clarity. He has boots of speed, which means he spent almost all of his gold here. To be able to maybe get a kill here in the off lane on the Terrorblade. I'm not really sure. He's pinging out a location. He picked up some wards. There's a sentry on this little ward area right here, which I've seen pro games all the time. Batrider plus JerAx and the Fade Bolt going to get a kill on the Phoenix and could potentially get a kill on Ice here. Ice. Sorry, not Ice. That's Wings. JerAx decides to return there, and the Batrider stays in the lane. Mind control, doing fantastic work there on the Batrider. He's always a very good Batrider. I do enjoy watching him. It's like JerAx went ahead and put a ward here on backside of that tower, northern tower. He wants to see what's going on, see enemies come in. He's actually going to not see who was that, the Ogre Magi come in. Puts a ward down here as well. I think he wants to set up a kill on mid when possible. He's going to just chill here, consume the clarity. He's got a smoke, help him get here to the mid lane. Nobody here in mid lane though, so you got 2 people in the bottom lane. I think that's the yeah, Faceless Void, and who else? Mirana is, I guess, was out of the lane, so they need to be careful. They know they need to be careful because Mirana is not mid. They get a kill somewhere. There's the Mirana. Looks like JerAx goes ahead and tanks the gank on this one. He's probably not going to die, though. Mirana's still low enough level. If he can avoid the arrow, I guess he did. Starfall almost doing critical damage there, though. Not going to be enough. Tumpaman going to get got. Chronosphere going to blow him up, and JerAx nowhere in the area. Not going to be able to help out. Sorry there, Tumpaman. You are dead. Even threw a Song of the Siren. That was a mistake there. I think he thought maybe he could get away. But JerAx too low of life thanks to the Mirana gank. And that's going to cost him the carry because he wasn't able to get bot to help him out. So, you know, that's the danger. You tank the gank against the Mirana, so at least he saves his mid. And the Death Prophet doesn't die. Maybe that was the sacrifice that can be made. And that's a good thing, I guess. Death Prophet can set the pace of the game. Has that Exorcism ultimate to be able to really put the pain on these towers. JerAx coming in mid could potentially help out, but yet the activity is north on the top towers. He's not going to be able to get there. Phoenix going to get a kill on the Mind Control's Batrider. So close. If he were in the area, he would have been able to do something about it. Instead, he's going to actually try to cut this. He's going to cut through the jungle, see if he can get a kill. He does not have to do much. Is he going to be able to get there? Fade Bolt? Fade Bolt? Yep, Fade Bolt's going to do it. It's going to get a kill. Didn't even need to use a telekinesis. By the way, picks up some infused raindrops. Goes ahead and places this other ward here in the jungle. It's going to do a lot of work. Going to pick up any rotations coming in from mid. He's going to be able to help get a kill here on Terrorblade. Mind Control already back in the area. Okay, so JerAx gets sundered by a surprise Terrorblade. He's going to have to be very careful here. He does not want to get feed the Terrorblade here. And Terrorblade Illusion might actually get killed on JerAx if he's not careful. Uses the Fade Bolt. He has pretty much no mana here. You can regen a little bit with the fused raindrops, which is nice, but he's going to just barely dodge the Mirana arrow. That was so close. He's got a magic stick, got TP scroll. He's leaving Tumpaman in the bottom lane to fend for himself. He goes ahead and he's going to finish getting his magic wand here. He wants to be able to, I think, pick up on, you know, a little bit of mana, a little bit of health when necessary, be able to turn fights. I love that aspect of the magic stick. People don't quite realize the power of a magic stick because it totally, you know, it gives false information. It's like kind of like counterintelligence to the enemy. The enemy thinks they're going to kill you, and they make that one last hit just to, and then run away to avoid tower damage, and then it doesn't matter because you pop your magic stick and you live. You know, also decent stats with the magic wand, not magic stick, magic wand. Infused Raindrop, I think, is going to help him out a little bit with potentially the Phoenix damage, potentially with the Ogre Magi damage, and in Mirana Starfall. He will not die to a Mirana Starfall because of the Infused Raindrop, so that's nice. He's going to sit around this tower. He needs the levels. He's level 5. He's very close to level 6, though he is going to get got. It's going to be a Chronosphere right here, if necessary. Ogre Magi in the area. Big TP coming in, though. Vada going to come in, Soul Siphon, Old 11. That might be enough to get the kill, at least on Lanham. Yeah, Old 11's going to have to time walk out. He may not be able to avoid the kill here. The Soul Siphon plus the Mind Control Batrider damage. He does not have enough mana for the lasso. Is he going to be able to get it anyway? There's a silence from Vada, hopefully going to get the kill, and they're going to have to back off. They are not going to get the kill on Void. That is the power of a Faceless Void. That time walk is just so disgusting. You combine that with the time lapse, time dilation, and people just have real problems. He doesn't even have time dilation, though. So that was all time walk, plus a Perseverance and a Poor Man's Shield. So that's why an off-lane Faceless Void is a really terrific pick, because you can do, you can do things with them. You don't have to just go farm in the jungle because, oh, hard lane. So Fada mid. JerAx is following Fada here. Looks like they're going to try to push this mid. I'm guessing the Exorcism is going to come out here soon. Rubick does pick up a couple sentry wards. Meanwhile, the top tower falls. The trade's going to be mid, although Exorcism comes out. Old Chicken sitting mid waiting to do something. Phoenix actually has his Sunray stolen, which is a really nasty spell for JerAx to steal. Interesting he chose that rather than, say, an arrow from Mirana. Maybe just didn't have the opportunity to do that. But he gets level 6. He has the Sunray. This is gank material here. And he's going to go ahead and TP in bottom. He could potentially put the herd on Ice Ice Ice. If he can ever get here. Kuroki did have the Orb of Venom slow. Fada's going to come in with accelerated speed. He has the phase boost, and that's actually going to be not a very good Sunray. JerAx is probably going to stop Old Lanham here. Telekinesis. Yep, Telekinesis right into the Terrorblade. Get a little stun, hopefully, and the Terrorblade actually didn't go very far. He backed up. He's got a Fade Bolt, hopefully do a little bit of damage. Yep. Sunder on Fada. JerAx is going to steal. What did he get? He actually got Bloodlust. Nice nice steal there. Going to put that on Fada. Give Fada a little extra move speed, a little extra damage. But it's attack speed, not damage. So. And I just see a Naga Siren with a... Oh my. Naga Siren with an Iron Talon. That is the damage that an offlane Faceless Void does. And JerAx is not really... Other than the initial few pulls, he has not been in that lane. He has been focused on dewarding, warding, supporting other heroes. He's not going to even be able to TP in the bottom lane. He doesn't have a TP. Old 11 going to die once again. I'm sorry. Old 11 going to get a kill once again on Batrider. Not the best Batrider performance here by Mind Control. Rubick trying to make things happen in the different lanes. He's trying to keep vision up against a team that has a Terrorblade on it, a team that's going to potentially be able to push. He wants to get vision behind these towers. He's got really good vision on their enemy jungle. He's got a vision behind the tower. The Kuroki's also putting deep wards from the behind here. That's also nice. JerAx doesn't have to totally expose himself and get killed every single time he goes out of his lane. But he probably wants to save up for his mana boots. He's not going to have that luxury just yet, though, because he is so focused on warding. Infused Raindrop really doing work here. I think I'm going to start buying this more often in my games. Ward's there. I guess he's going to try to prevent the ganks that keep coming in from this area. He sentries up. I think he thought maybe the enemy had a ward there because of the amount of ganks that kept coming in. Mind Control ganked before that. I think JerAx himself ganked before that. Here's a gank as well. Maybe he did that as an offensive gank. Old 11, is he going to be able to get out of this? Void time lapse or time walk, going to be able to avoid a lot of that damage. The Mind Control on the Batrider, front lining it pretty well. And that's going to be a Phoenix ult wasted. Can JerAx steal the Phoenix ult? Can he do it? He really wants it. He wants that Phoenix ult. No, he's not going to be able to get it. It actually steals that time walk, which is nice. Going to be able to save him from a decent amount of damage. There's the infused raindrops doing work. He's going to avoid a lot of damage. He has a time walk still. He can get in there and do a Fade Bolt if he wants to kill anybody. Fada's Exorcism, though, wearing off. The gank is over. They lose a Batrider in exchange for, I guess, a Mirana and a Void. That's actually not bad, considering Batrider has been ganked a number of times this game. I don't think Faceless Void's been ganked once. The Mirana, I don't think, has been ganked once. So not a bad turnout there by Liquid, putting some pressure on EHOME in that bottom lane, punishing them a little bit for EHOME's aggression and the amount of pressure they put on that bottom tower. EHOME, however, sitting in the lane still. You can tell there are two enemies down there. They are potentially going to TP in here. We'll see. Rubick healing up. He's got two smokes on him now. He's thinking about TPing. He's going to TP into the tier 2 tower. I think he wants to be able to see if there's any enemies in the jungle before he goes over there. Maybe he's going to ward. He has another ward here. By the way, he also has enough boots, money for boots. The advantage of getting 2 big kills. He's going to put one up there. So he is really trying to save this jungle in this tower, and I think that's because, well, the tower just died. And so I think he's warding up to try to do his best to enable his core to farm in the jungle despite losing that tower. Old 11 just time walk. That might be a mistake there. He's going to take a lot of damage. There's going to be a lasso He's not going to be able to avoid this gank entirely. He was silenced there. I don't know how the hell he got out of that silence, considering... Well, he got out of the silence so he could time walk. I didn't know you could do that. Another silence, another time walk. Well, that's very frustrating. I'm not sure how he's doing that. He's going to try to turn this fight. Maybe not going to work there. 4 enemies, not enough damage from EHOME. Going to be able to get a kill. JerAx still has this time walk, so if he needs to, he can use it as an initiation mechanism or a saving mechanism. Either one. A nice benefit of having a jump spell like that on a Rubick. Telekinesis as well. Finally picked up his mana boots. Okay, JerAx points to the left lane. There's a big problem in that lane. There is no tower. There are no towers. Okay, so there's a time walk example of a time walk onto Old Lanham across the river, or across the little peninsula, I guess. That's going to... There's he still steals the Sunray. He really likes that spell. Good spell to have, especially if the enemy doesn't expect to have it. Also, he used his time walk, got the kill with it. That was very nice. Mid tower's now falling. Top tower's fallen. JerAx going to have to do some real work here to help pick them up. And he has so far 4-on-1. Old Chicken going to die horribly. Horrible death. Rubick maxing out his Fade Bolt. He's got the Sunray. Going to be able to push these lanes a little bit. Going to do some damage to the Fenrir here. He actually stole the dive, which means he's going to be able to escape. He's going to be able to escape if he needs here. He doesn't need it, though. Oh, he doesn't have the pick. They're going to get a kill on it anyway. He doesn't have the ability to steal a spell, but he sure as hell has the ability in the combination with Mind Control to kill the damn thing. So he takes the... He kills the egg. Egg is dead. He has a Fire Spirit, another kind of escape spell. Actually, it was not an escape spell. He had the Fire Spirit, so that's a shame because I think he wanted to dive. Icarus dive. Gonna head back. Picks up yet another smoke. He has 3 smokes here. He's just stacking them on him, so that at the right time, he has them. I guess that makes sense. Rubick is kind of a ganker. His Telekinesis and Fade Bolt, very nice spells. Also, when you steal a gank spell like Time Walk, or an escape spell like Time Walk, you can be more aggressive. He is pairing up with Mind Control pretty significantly, and when possible, combining with his teammates there. That was a smoke, but this turns out they're the ones getting ganked. Alt 11 with the Chronosphere. Mind Control lassos up Old Chicken. Fada just trying to stay out of the area. Put a little bit more pressure here on Old Land, just right-clicking away. By the way, he did replenish his Fused Raindrops. JerAx going to be able to get in here. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Telekinesis is down. He dies to the Terrorblade. That is a shame. Fada going to come in here, though, with the Soul Siphon. Going to get a kill on Fenrir. That's a dead Phoenix. Terrorblade's going to be able to survive, though. Mind Control's lasso was spent. JerAx not in the house. Fada really low on health, and Kuroki's not going to be able to do a lot of damage. He's good at the... He gets killed because there's some kind of vision somewhere. I don't see it. There's the Sunder on a teammate. So, Liquid losing 3, almost losing 4, and EHOME losing only the Phoenix. That was a nice gank attempt by EHOME. Really reading, I think, Liquid pretty well. JerAx back in town. Matumpa Man gets a little net on Old 11. He's going to steal. JerAx going to steal the Time Walk forward. Can he get his Telekinesis? There's a Dust, gets a Telekinesis, gets a Fade Bolt. He's going to have to back off, though. Matumpa Man trying to fight this out. JerAx just backing off. That was actually Dust of Appearance by JerAx. Noticing somebody had an invisibility there in that last fight. I did not even notice that. That was actually the Faceless Void with a Shadow Blade. So it was almost a kill by JerAx on the Faceless Void. So a nice pickup there. He's got 2 Smokes of Deceits left. Smokes of Deceit? Yeah, Smokes of Deceit left. Gonna use this Time Walk to completely avoid the arrow. Grab the rune. Doing work. Here's Old Lanham in a really bad position. He's gonna Time Walk in. Gonna lift him up, put him down, and put him to rest. That was a dead Ogre. The luck was not with him on that one. So Kuroki picking up some more duty here. Mind Control. Kind of fireflying around. I guess he was fireflied there. Remnants of the attack from Old Lanham from the Ogre Magi. So Rubick missing out on what's going on top lane, though. That was just the fortunate unfortunate consequence, Kuroki will be caught out every once in a while. That's what happens when you have a deep scout like Bounty Hunter. Looks like Rubick just sticking with his core stuff here, his smokes, his dust. Very utility-based hero. He's really focusing on the utility items. But Tamba Man goes ahead and gets a catch here. Old 11 in the wrong place at the wrong time. Song of the Siren sets it up. And there's a lasso followed by a Fade Bolt and Telekinesis if necessary. Does not even need it. That's a 5-man gank on Faceless Void. That was worth a lot of money. I think that was probably a track kill. No, it was not a track kill. Probably because Bounty Hunter was dead, unfortunately. Rubick still working with Time Walk. Nice spell on a Rubick. Ability to jump in, Telekinesis, Initiate, ability to jump out. Time Walk is a really nice spell. It's only a 6-second cooldown. So I know I've seen Rubick players really favor the movement spells, the escapes, the initiation, the escape spells. Allows their stun to be much more effective. Allows them to get the hell out of danger if possible. As you see there, he was actually using the Bounty Hunter as a scout. He did not want to walk in there without knowing what was ahead of him. And then Bounty Hunter went and put a ward down. Now Rubick sharing the load, picks up 2 sentry wards, not burdening himself with too many wards. He probably wants to get a decent item next. I don't know, probably a Force Staff he's going to work toward. Needs that, what is that, 900 plus 320, 350, 1,500 gold, something like that. Decent amount of gold. It's more than that, I think. They are pressuring this tower. They're waiting for the enemy team to get here, it looks like. That or they're not sure what they're doing here. Fada actually is a BKB. There's a Telekinesis on Old 11. Fada BKB'd, Exorcism up, Fade Bolt. Waiting for the time lapse here, or time walk here to have an effect. JerAx just sitting back, trying to avoid the bulk of that damage, especially the Phoenix ultimate. He time walks out to avoid damage from Old Lanham. He's going to try to cut off the enemy's retreat here. Time walk in is going to be into a Telekinesis, into a Fade Bolt. That's going to be a dead Mirana if he can get it. There's a Fade Bolt. Almost 2 kills with 1 Fade Bolt. He's going to kill the Phoenix with the Telekinesis. Actually, it's going to be Telekinesis plus Kuroki, and then this is dead Ice Ice. This is going to have to be really fast because there could be a Sunder. Oh my gosh. Look at the damage on Kuroki. 1 hit, though, with the Janata, and that's dead. The Tamba Man with a sliver of health going to push this tower. That is risky. They really want this tower. They are pushing the advantage as much as humanly possible. Terribly picks up a Radiance. That is a scary thing on the enemy team there. Kuroki pushing the tower as best as he can. They need to take advantage of this as much as possible. Now they need to escape as quickly as possible. And there's Old 11 time walking in with the dust. The only thing that's going to stop Kuroki is a bash, and he gets the bash. Old 11 going to get a kill. Yeah, Old 11 tracked up. Little Shuriken Toss not going to get a kill there. JerAx back in the game. He died, but he got a decent kill there. Helped out his teammate a little bit. He's got enough. Holy crap. He's not going to go for a Force Staff. He's going to go for a Blink Dagger. And that's the power of getting a team wipe against EHOME when the enemies are fat. Going to Fade Bolt a couple of these creeps, get a little bit extra damage. He's now getting to the high priority here in terms of farm. He's got a ward, picked up a ward. I'm not sure if he bought that. He might have. I don't think he did. I think somebody else bought it. He grabbed it. Especially since Bounty Hunter is dead. He probably just dropped it from the stash, picked it up. Bounty Hunter probably dropped it from the stash, and JerAx picked it up, grabbed it. Going to go ahead and help ward up his jungle again. Give the Naga plenty of time to farm if at all possible. She needs that Radiance. I think she's going to go Radiance. She already has the Radiance. Holy crap. She's actually moving on to bigger, better things like a Mantis style. JerAx avoids the gank somehow. That was a gank on Death Prophet. Very effective. He is running away. He's going to sentry up the jungle a little bit more. He's not there for the gank on the bottom. He's not there for the enemy's gank on his friend mid. He is trying to do his best, but he cannot thread the needle on that one. He is between 2 places. Looks like there's an enemy farming right in front of him. He's actually going to TP right in front of that enemy and go to mid lane. Nope, top lane. Time walk up. Going to put a ward on this area. Realizes the enemy has some kind of advanced vision. I think he wants to see where that is. Invisibility. He keeps his diffused raindrops on him. That's probably an anti-Mirana, plus the magic mana regen is very nice. That's probably what that's all about. He is farming pretty heavily now. He needs to get this Blink Dagger. He's so close to it. He doesn't want to lose all of this money if he can. That's the farming ward potentially to the right. That may be the reason why he, not just for the Naga, but for himself, he needs to be able to kill these little creeps without getting ganked. Gonna keep alternating between the lane and between that little stack in the jungle. Actually, mind control, Lasso's up. I'm guessing they go ahead and call the gank here. They're gonna smoke in. JerAx, I think Kuroki called this out. Its gank's gonna be on ice. That's a track kill if they can get it off. That's a lasso into a telekinesis. Can they pull it off? He's gonna get the Sunder. That is a dead Terror Blade, down for 60 seconds, has buyback. He's not gonna use that buyback. He wants the farm. JerAx gonna be able to get a kill here on Old Landimus too with the Fade Bolt. He's got Time Walk if he needs it. He's not gonna need it though. And that's a huge kill brought to you by 3 heroes, a deep Kuroki, Lasso by Mind Control, and a JerAx Telekinesis. And a smoke. And a smoke. Old 11. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. JerAx actually steals the Chronosphere, captures Old 11 there, and they're actually not going to be the perfect ultimate there from JerAx, but instead they're going to use a Song of the Siren. They're going to net Old Chicken, and that's going to be a Fade Bolt and death. Take out the tower. This is a huge turnaround. Started with the Terrorblade gank, finished off, or continued with the JerAx steal on a Chronosphere. The Song kills the rest of the enemy team. Now they're going to push this tower. Exorcism doing real work, although Exorcism just expired. Terrorblade up in a second. Terrorblade will have his Metamorphosis, so they're going to respect EHOME here. Liquid's going to back off. And JerAx walking around with the Chronosphere. 74 seconds left. That's a level 2 Chronosphere. And, you know, only Void can walk around in that Chronosphere. And if his entire team is caught in a Chronosphere, which they weren't expecting, by the way, that's a very dangerous thing. Rubick has his Blink Dagger. That's, by the way, a good example of why you can sit back and you can farm on a hero, you know, like Rubick, very slowly. But you can also go get ganks, and you want to. When Mind Control's Lasso is up and you have vision on a really important enemy because of Kuroki, you have the Bounty Hunter tracks. That is an amazing amount of gold. You also completely destroy. You do so much more than just farming. I mean, you get in the lane, you get a gank, you get the track gold, you take the mid tower, you kill the rest of the team, you push up to the top, or to the tier 3. So, you know, I see a lot of people just sitting back and just farming, and it's so frustrating, especially when I'm playing as somebody like a Rubick, right? Like, please come with me. Please do something. We can kill. So we'll see now. Rubick has his mode of initiation other than a Time Walk. He also has this amazing tool, Chronosphere. They're going to be able to get a really nice gank at some point on EHOME. They're going to use Kuroki. Kuroki is scouting ahead. The forward scout doing his job. Unfortunately, EHOME is putting pressure on the bot lane, which is going to, they're grouping up as 5 and putting pressure. Liquid's going to have to try to return the favor here. Kind of a weak take. They're taking the bottom, the off lane tower. They smoke up behind Kuroki and the Death Prophet. This is so clearly a bait by Liquid, though. I don't think EHOME's going to fall for it. We'll see. EHOME actually retreats from the top lane from Liquid's off lane, indicating to Liquid that there's potentially a huge enemy force sitting right over here. Clearly, yeah, they have vision. The Naga Siren illusions gonna come in here. Fada trying to make his way up. I'm sorry, Fada, JerAx. There it is. There's the blink forward. There's the Chronosphere into 2 heroes. He's going to get the Telekinesis into Sunray. Actually steals the Sunray immediately after that. I wonder if he's going to be able to steal this spell. Nope, not going to be able to steal the egg. Supernova goes off. He's going to blink forward. Can he get a Telekinesis? Exorcism still up, still doing work. Not going to be able to turn this into anything. Kuroki might die. Fade Bolt going to potentially ward off Old Lana from going a little further. Fada's Exorcism is cooling down. JerAx has a Sunray, which is nice, but I think he might have rather had the Chronosphere on that one. That was probably going to be expiring soon anyway. So I guess Liquid just decides they're going to go ahead and take this tower anyway. That's a tracked up Mirana. Sunray right onto a Mirana who apparently was TPing from that location from behind the woods. Interesting, he actually telekinesis into Song of the Siren. This is going to give the opportunity for Liquid to disengage. Something I've been noticing lately, he actually buys a tome. He wants to get his levels. He's at level 2, level 3 spell steal. One thing I've noticed a lot lately is a lot of these teams, I think OG kind of did this a lot, and I don't know if maybe they didn't innovate it, I don't know, but I see a lot of teams going for heroes that can kind of engage and disengage. A lot of spells, a lot of heroes that are really good at kind of allowing the team to hit the gas and hit the brakes. Hit the gas and hit the brakes. Have a lot more control over the pace of the game. And you also have to combine that, generally speaking, with a pace setter like a Death Prophet, as somebody who can push towers, take objectives. They have a scout as well, which is nice. But somebody like a Naga Siren offers the opportunity to completely disengage, offers the opportunity to engage. Also, in a way, kind of the JerAx here is going to do the same thing. Watch, he's going to blink forward. He's going to telekinesis. He's going to Fade Bolt into a Sunray with a couple of the heroes. And once again, a dead Terrorblade. This is going to make things happen. This is how you step on the engage tool. You blink forward, you telekinesis. You got all kinds of initiation tools. You got the mind control, blink with the lasso, and then the force staff back. And then you've got the engage, the kind of a push engage tool, the Fada on the exorcism. You have the disengage from the Naga Siren. You have the disengage with potentially the JerAx. I mean, the Fade Bolt kind of operates as a disengage tool, very weak one. But he also has the ability to steal spells from, say, a Chronosphere, which allows him to disengage as well. Mind Control going to pull back there the Mirana. That's going to be dead Mirana. Exorcism going to start doing real work on these towers. JerAx is maintaining his distant position. He is not putting pressure on those towers or the racks. He is a disengage, a counter initiation tool. He's going to wait for that Phoenix ult to go off. He wants to steal that egg if at all possible. That would be a really fantastic counter initiation. He's going to use the Sunray. He's saving his spell. Saving his steal. He doesn't want to take the steal yet. I think he wants to wait for this Phoenix. Pressure continuing. The Tumba Man with the illusions. Okay, they finally decided to back off. I think that's the Terrorblade ulted, or not ulted, I think he metamorphed. And I think that's going to be the cue for them to disengage. So, yeah, kind of going back to this, I think Rubick's kind of a soft engage, soft disengage. The Naga Siren being a hard engage, hard disengage. And allowing kind of a little more control. We think like driving your team like a car, you have the ability to kind of accelerate and decelerate a lot faster. The Death Prophet also being a key role there. That's actually a scouting arrow there. Just misses JerAx, who avoids it. Staying to the left here, he stays back and he stays to the flanking position on Fada and his teammates. He stays right around Kuroki here. The Batrider providing the front kind of gank position while the tower is taken. That's the Death Prophet's job. JerAx does not have any spells. The Sunray disappeared. I imagine they're going to give the Arcane Rune to JerAx, maybe to Fata, maybe to Batrider. Who knows? JerAx pinging that high ground there. I think I'm not sure what he's pointing out there. He does have quite a bit of money here. He's going to probably go for a Force Staff to help him engage, do something, and then disengage. Once again, engage and disengage, gas pedal and brake. Very helpful. I think that's one of the new things I'm going to be looking for here, and as I cast these games here, is engage and disengage. You'll notice that the Phoenix ultimate is a very good disengage. The Void ultimate, very good disengage. Also very good engagement there. The ability of the Mirana to basically cloak everybody and then run in. Also the Chronosphere, very good engage and disengage on both teams here. They're going to use the Exorcism. Liquid using the Exorcism to take out Roshan. The Terrorblade illusions have scattered this out. Tumba Man's trying to provide enough illusion support around to scout out any potential initiation. They have to be extremely careful, though, because there it is. The old 11, Faceless Void, initiation. Looks like JerAx going to steal the Chronosphere, capture 2 enemies who are actually invisible at the moment. What a crucial fix. That's going to be a lift on Old Lanham, plus the Fade Bolt damage going to get a kill. He can jump anywhere if he wants to here. There's a disengage. Siren stops the damage from the Phoenix ultimate. Steals the Phoenix ultimate. Actually, JerAx blinks in. Now the engage. That's going to be fantastic. Ice is going to die on the Terrorblade. Fenrir has to leave. Fenrir is not going to get away, though. That's going to be a blink, force staff, telekinesis, fade bolt, death. Yep, he's going to die. And that is a team wipe on EHOME. That was a fantastic spell read. I'm actually going to go back and just watch it one more time. I know I don't normally like to do that, but JerAx played a crucial role. This is potentially a game-winning team fight here. So JerAx sitting way back. He's not in the pit. He knows that a Chronosphere could be launched at any time. He knows Time Walk into a Chronosphere is deadly around the pit. Also, Mirana, ultimate. So he sees the Chronosphere. Okay, I need to slow this down because he's operating at a speed that is much faster than most people can operate. I'm going to slow this down. So he sees the Chronosphere. Well, not yet. He's coming in. He knows that EHOME is in the area. He knows because the Terrible Illusions are there. He knows they're waiting for an opportunity to initiate. And probably going to wait till this Magi. Probably going to go for the steal. There's the Chronosphere. Immediate theft of Chronosphere. He sees that there's enemies. He doesn't see anybody behind him. He finally sees some illusions and some enemies coming in here, being chased by his allies. He uses the Chronosphere on them. Fade bolts, backs up because he doesn't want to get blown up here by these three heroes. That's a 3-man Chronosphere. Actually, it wasn't 3-man because Old 11 was in it, and technically he can just walk around the Chronosphere. He's going to go ahead, and then he's 4 seconds left. There's the Siren. Sunder on Matumba Man. JerAx backs off. Arcane Boots to get some mana. He's ready to steal the spell. As soon as Siren is over, steal one. He steals it. He blinks forward. Ice is in the area. There's the Supernova. He's going to be able to do a ton of damage to Fenrir. Ice is going to die. He already has his Sunder. His Sunder was already used. He already committed that. So that's dead. And now he's at full health. And he chases down Fenrir, and that's probably game-winning right there. Yeah, because look what they're going to do. They're going to be able to push this bottom lane to Rax. They're going to be able to potentially kill the top lane. No buyback there on Faceless Void. Or sorry, not top lane, the mid lane. No buyback on Faceless Void. They're just going to walk through. They're going to come in here. They're going to kill these Rax. Potentially going to switch over. They're not going to have enough time to kill the mid Rax, but they're going to have time to kill this tower. And they're going to have enough time. If they had the Exorcism, that would be nice. He actually blinks forward. He's going to try to push this. Old Lanham tracked up. Telekinesis. They're going to back off. There's a buyback. They forced a buyback on the Terrorblade. That is a huge commitment by the Terrorblade. The Terrorblade really needs to be able to get something out of this. Fada decides to pop the Exorcism. Liquid decides to press the gas pedal here. JerAx sitting off on the right flank, ready to counter-initiate, ready to blink in and initiate. There's the blink in. Immediate blink by Old Chicken, though. He's going to still get a telekinesis on Old Chicken. Chicken's going to die. JerAx, the subject of a stun from the Ogre Magi. It's not going to matter because the magic stick from JerAx going to save his life. He decides to back off because he knows there's going to be a Chronosphere. There's the counter-initiation. Naga Siren ultimate. Time dilation chosen by JerAx. Not what he wanted exactly. He thought he was going to get the Chronosphere. To say he's going to time dilation everybody in the area, that's going to put a hurting on the Void, who's not going to be able to use his spells. BKB up. JerAx not going to be able to do anything about that. Sense steals. Time Walk. He's going to be able to get a kill. He's going to telekinesis. Fade Bolt. Probably wish he had waited to steal that spell. Tumba Man in a tight spot here. He's actually surviving somehow, some way. JerAx providing continuing support. Going to go ahead and grab that gem off the ground. Fade Bolt, jump away, avoid the Sunray damage. He's going to try to get away with this gem if he can. He needs to get out. There's a force staff onto the high ground. He actually blinks back down. He's going to be able to get telekinesis, Fade Bolt. He's going to have enough mana. He's going to Sunray kill the Faceless Void. Old Lanham taking immense Sunray damage. Liquid going to get a kill on that. Blink Dagger forward. Not going to get a kill on the Phoenix, but that probably breaks the back of EHOME. They have nothing left. Terrorblade's ultimates. Terrorblade killed. His buyback was used last. He's a buyback penalty. He can't possibly buy back. He's poor now. Did not get a ton of kills. Ogre Magi dead for 32 seconds. The Faceless Void dead again. Mirana dead again. No buybacks from anyone. The Phoenix Supernova is down. Fada leading the charge. Probably has the Exorcism at this point. Gonna save it for when the enemy is out and wants to be able to use that to kill the enemy as well as the towers. It's kind of a ward. Big ward. Ghosts flying around. The JerAx looking forward, looking for that blink initiation. Anybody comes forward, they are dead, even though JerAx is pretty far away. If necessary, he's going to blink forward and then force staff himself. He doesn't need to do it. Mid rack's gone, bottom rack's gone. Liquid need only move over to the top lane, take a tower, start putting pressure on that top lane. There's no way. He actually uses one of his, finally uses one of his smokes, by the way, is picking up the Aether Lance finally, which is very nice. That's going to be a smoke into a, oh my gosh, it's going to be a lasso, but that's going to be a Chronosphere. Counter initiates. He actually steals the Chronosphere, puts it up on top, captures Ice, Ice, Ice in it. Old Lanham is stuck in it as well. Telekinesis, and that's going to be a dead Old Lanham potentially. Not quite. JerAx still way off in the far distance here, not taking any damage. Old Lanham trapped by the Naga net. They're going to disengage, losing only a Death Prophet who currently has buyback. Not a bad day for Liquid there. They also killed a Mirana again, causing significant damage. Although Mirana has, my gosh. Come on, Mirana. Can you get you, Mirana? Okay. She has Ags, that's about it. Ags and a Blink Dagger. So her farm being held back pretty nicely. Terrorblade stuck in Manta-style Dragon Lance Radiance. Radiance is okay, especially with the Manta-style. But I guess maybe the Dragon Lance helps out a little bit too. But he doesn't have any big damage item. Looks like he's going to go for the Monkey King bar. And JerAx finally picks up his Aether Lens. Now he's going to be able to stay completely out of these fights. It's actually hard to see kind of what's going on in these team fights because JerAx, his actual hero is way the hell far away when he's doing all this. All I'm able to do is just kind of watch the enemies lift up off the ground. I see a Fade Bolt cast. I see a Chronosphere cast. I don't know where the hell where JerAx is. He's doing his thing from way behind enemy lines, and now that he's got an Aether Lens, not behind enemy lines, way behind his friendly lines. Now that he's got an Aether Lens, his range is going to be ridiculous. Telekinesis pretty decent range there. He does have the Chronosphere. 4 seconds left. He's going to be able to use that as an engage or disengage. There's the smoke. They're going to probably use this as an opportunity to go by any wards. Go ahead and get a gank on the enemy. Kuroki not out front though. They've been using Mind Control's lasso to initiate. The lasting you can nerf bat pretty much all you want, but that lasso is just a terrific control device. Terrific ganking mechanism. JerAx actually leading the charge here. Gonna take this opportunity to de-ward. Smoke popped. Buy another smoke. Actually, that's not them buying a smoke. That's actually the Phoenix that buys a smoke. Using this gem to great effect. That was picked up by JerAx, I believe. Probably return that to the base. The gem's probably on the Batrider. JerAx again staying back lines. He wants to avoid any initiations here, certainly by the Ogre Magi or by the Chronosphere. Staying way back. The Tumba Man using his little illusions to scout. There's the Radiance on those illusions. That's going to prevent any Blink Daggers from operating, at least in that area where those guys are. Flanking is always still possible. Exorcism committed. Fada going to push high ground. Assisted by the Radiance burn of these illusions. JerAx staying way back on top of this high ground over here. You don't even know where he is. Old Lanham out front. He's taking the brunt of this damage here. He might die. Sunray going to have to be committed here to heal up Old Lanham. And there's the blink forward. I bet you it's going to be followed by a Chronosphere from JerAx. If there's a counter initiation, instead they're just going to give up. In fact, if they're going to give up that Phoenix, JerAx jump forward, try to get a kill there. This is going to be a Chronosphere. JerAx going to Chronosphere right on top of these guys. There it is. Chronosphere committed. And there's a counter Chronosphere by the Faceless Void. Nobody's doing anything. There's a Mirana arrow stun. He actually uses that. Gets a hit on Ice Ice. There's going to be the Batrider. Going to come in there, get the remainder of these kills. Fade Bolt, all kinds of illusion damage and Radiance damage, and that's going to be it. EHOME dies. Just that last battle once again. Boy, that was fun to watch. So I'm glitching here because I kind of went in the middle of the battle. Okay, so Mind Control, BKB, JerAx blinks forward, Fade Bolts, Telekinesis. There's a track gold on Old Lanham, but he actually somehow survives that. Okay, they finally catch Old 11 and Ice Ice in the same spot. That's they're going to be their opportunity to Siren. JerAx going to walk up here. He's going to Chronosphere. Now, Old 11 is going to be able to counter a Chronosphere here, which he does immediately as soon as the Naga Siren ends. So he BKBs. He counter Chronospheres. JerAx looking to steal a spell. He steals the arrow from Old Chicken. He avoids the Chronosphere ultimate. He has time dilation at the moment. He blinks bottom, immediately casts his arrow, tries to hit 11, misses, it hits Ice Ice, Fade bolts forward. That's going to get a kill. Also, from the damage coming from Fada there. He actually force taps. I think he force taps Fada toward Old 11, so we continue the Soul Siphon on Old 11. Going to get a kill with the Bat Swarm, Crypt Swarm. And that's it. That's game. And look at that rich Rubick. By the way, did dismantle his Boots of Speed for the Aetherlands, which is something I often forget to do.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So what have we learned here from JerAx playing a Rubick? He likes to... I think the spells he likes to steal... I mean, I like to steal big damage, big ultimates, things like that, but a lot of times I think the team is better assisted with the ability to engage and disengage. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. Are there no stats? Why are there no stats? Scoreboard. There we go. More advanced now. Woo! But, you know, I think the ability of JerAx to get in and get out of the fights was very helpful. He needs to be able to get in the fight so he can telekinesis and set up these kills. He needs to be able to get in the fight followed by a Mind Control, because Mind Control is jumping forward. Every single time he initiates, he jumps forward, pulls somebody back. JerAx is going to be left in the dust and potentially going to lose that leash, that lasso on the enemy before JerAx can get in position. That's going to help JerAx in position. That's going to be very nice. That time walk is going to be helpful. He also steals the Chronosphere. That's, again, a kind of initiation or counter-initiation tool. Both of those spell steals. He uses the Phoenix ultimate to great effect. Counter-initiation and initiation tool. He didn't die. He can't die in a supernova, so that's very... Well, he can die to supernova, but he's not going to because the enemies are not going to be focusing on him. So the kinds of spells he's stealing are the kinds of spells that allow him and his team to push the gas and press the brake. Stop initiating, or counter-initiating, stop the enemy from going on them, and then initiating on the enemy. That's ability to kind of mediate the game, to manipulate the game so that it's always your advantage. You're always in the advantage. Or if you're disadvantaged, you stop, press pause, call safety, whatever it is. JerAx playing that role quite a bit. He played, early on, he was just kind of a pull bitch. He pulled everything he could in the lane, try to get Matama Man some significant farm. I think at some point Matama Man retired from that concept and decided to go ahead and grab his Iron Talon. A little sad, especially considering you're going against a Faceless Void, meaning the Faceless Void became almost like a safe lane carry in that lane. He got a decent amount of farm. Matama Man came back. That's the power of a Naga Siren with the illusions and the Radiant spam. Very, very nice ability to farm very, very quickly. And look at this. Look at the amount of stuff he had by the end of the game. Of course, that's also because he got some really big kills and some really fat heroes, including Old 11 on the Faceless Void. JerAx did a lot of warding and de-warding, trying to control the towers, control tower pushes. He wanted to get wards, deep wards. Kuroki also helping out deep wards for Fada, so that Fada could continue on the Death Prophet, just pushing towers. It's not a difficult game plan if you think about it. Basically, you have your Rubick. Try to do your best to protect Matama Man. Once you find out that doesn't work very well, then you try to set up things around the map. You try to help Fada push towers, try to help Mind Control gank. And that's exactly what he did, using Kuroki as the additional deep warding and as the additional scout. These four right here did a lot of work while Matama Man basically got fat. And you just keep pushing down these towers. The Fada's exorcism, the enemy has to do something. You're forcing the enemy. You're pushing the gas pedal not just on yourself, but on the enemy. And that really sets things up. JerAx going for the initiation, counter-initiation tools, the positioning tools. constantly keeping vision over the enemy as much as possible, sharing the duty with Kuroki, who also needs items. He needed the mechanism. He needed the Pipe of Insight. He needed a mechanism for sure. He needed Arcane Boots if at all possible. And look at that. Kuroki able to pick up a Crimson Guard and a Pipe of Insight. Fantastic high ground push items. Even got himself a Force Staff to help the enemy, help his friends in sticky situations and to help himself out of sticky situations as well. That's it. I think that really this was a team game for sure. This was a really great setup by Team Liquid, but really great play by Rubick as well. Really good spell steals. Constantly thinking about what spells he wants, thinking very carefully with his team about when is he going to use those spells. You saw the Naga Siren ultimate being used multiple times to set up JerAx spell steals. And, the Chronospheres, the Phoenix Egg, so on and so forth, they used JerAx spell steal to help counter-initiate any Roshan attempts by EHOME when Liquid was taking Roshan. Very, very powerful. So I think that's how you play a Rubick. I don't. There's probably no one way to play a Rubick, but if you can just repeat what he did, maybe you'll be championship material at the next International 7. That's all for me, folks. Good luck in your games. Have fun, and try not to be so scrubby.